Piper. I am the Martian ambassador.
Des Moines and all of Central Iowa, welcome to Mac's World Live. Mac's World is your world. Every day we talk about the issues and topics that matter most to you. And as always, it's your voice we want to hear in Mac's World. So join the conversation by calling 515-244-0077. And now, here's the host of Mac's World Live, J. Michael McCoy.
Oh, let's get serious here. 7 minutes after 3 o'clock on the 18th day of January, I'm Walter Cronkite, and that's the news. Nope, good morning. Back here live on the radio, right here on 99.3. Glad to have you here. We're just goofy. This is the greatest place in the world to work. You are always welcome to come up and take a tour of our studios. They're not a big deal, first of all. Our studios are very, very technically exceptional, but we don't do a lot to make them look nice. However, you will notice that there are certain things about our office that will make you giggle, smile, snicker, and even maybe laugh out loud. We have stuffed animals. And these stuffed animals are all the characters of a regular person. I didn't say that right.
Like a cartoon character. Right. You got we'll give one away as an example. Elmo.
I'm not going to give them away.
No. I'm going to give away the mystery.
We have
as an example, we have Elmo.
We have a fully functioning Tickle Me Elmo that does the whole dance and laughs. We have Woody Woodpecker. We have
Before you keep going on, doesn't each one represent somebody that works here?
Yes. Absolutely. For instance, we have a turkey that when you push its little feather, it won't shut up.
Yak, yak, yak.
I was staring at Frank. What else do we have? We have Big Bird.
You have Big Bird?
Alf. I think that's it, right?
Well, we've got
some dog that we don't know who he is.
We've got a dog from a show that some people know about. And we've got Cat in the Hat.
Cat in the Hat, and we've got Hal.
Hugh the camel.
There we go.
What about Woody the Woodpecker?
Yeah, that's the first one I said.
Oh, okay.
But thanks for catching up. Maybe you're listening on the delay, maybe, Frank. So anyway, you're welcome to come up anytime. We have a lot of fun working here. Chris runs a tight ship, and we are all responsible to him and Jesus. Luckily, it's not in that order. Oh, you're going to show Hugh? There's Hugh the camel. And how Hugh the camel, and that's a puppet, right?
Yes,
you can
Hugh is
stick
a
your
puppet.
hand and make him.
I think.
Hello, my name's Hugh the camel, and I listen to 99.3 every day. Yeah. All right. So the community calendar coming up next hour at 4 o'clock. We have. That's why you're a good dad. We have Hope is her name.
Yes.
And she is going to tell us her story about affliction and, getting involved in drugs and alcohol and how it impacted her family and her kids. And it's going to be a good story. She's a solid lady, and I look forward to that. All right, I want to make sure one thing you understand. It is partly sunny out there today. We have a high of 13. Tomorrow, 19 degrees with maybe a little snow messing up the skies. Wednesday, 30 and clear. It's 12 degrees at the airport. Down by the lakefront, it's 13 degrees. And here at the KTIA studios, it's 11 degrees.
You know what I heard?
What?
Well, I was listening to Patinka on TV this morning. Patinka on the TV show this morning.
Hold on. I don't know who that is.
Weather guesser. She's a weather guesser.
Oh, from Channel 13.
Eight.
Matinka Slater.
Yeah.
And
Tickle Me Slater.
She said that this may be, this below or a single digit, may be the end of it for the whole seison.
Really?
Isn't that exciting?
Today could be the last one?
She said that, yes.
So we'll actually get warmer and stay. No, okay, maybe. I was talking to the weather guys out at the National Weather Service, and they're telling me that we're coming back to cold temperatures after Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday and Thursday are supposed to be like 30 and clear, and then after that, we're going back into the teens. I'm just telling you what they said.
What? You mean you called these guys and asked them personally?
Yeah.
He's on a first name. He's on a first name basis with the Weather Service.
This is the first I've known you for so many years, 7 years.
Oh, yeah.
This is the first I've heard.
I know you know this. I was a weekend weather person, weather guesser, as you like to say.
Right.
For KWWL television in Waterloo. Way back 150 years ago. I was the night guy on 1330 KWWL, played records. This is right before I moved here to Des Moines. I did it for a summer. And they knew I was only going to be there for the summer because my job at KIOA didn't open up until late August. So, yeah.
So those are the connections you made years ago?
Well, no, they've changed. The guys have changed. I'm a kind of a weather geek.
Oh.
But yeah, I love the National. Have you ever been to the National? You know how when you go down to the DCI lab where you used to work and you have all these cool things to show off? And if you're into guns and stuff like that, it's really like super cool.
Right.
Well, for me to go to the Weather Service, that's super cool. That is geek off.
How accurate are those guys?
Well, nobody's accurate with the weather. God runs the weather, and he changes it however he wants. I have a friend of mine who is retired from there, and he's a big believer, and he really sees God just up there messing with us all the time. He'll blow, and it'll get windy, and he'll clap, and it'll be thunder, and he'll get some water, and it'll rain, and he'll turn down the thermostat in heaven so when the water comes down, it's snow. He just believes that the weather is impossible to track. And I think after... how many years of television? 50, 60 years of television, even Doppler, Super Doppler, Maxa Doppler radar, we still get it wrong.
Yeah, okay.
It's all about what we can expect. It's all about for planning purposes, really. I mean, it's just kind of guessing.
Well, yeah, but it is. For one summer, I got paid to guess what the weather would be. And I learned all about cumulus clouds and all those terms, and it doesn't mean squat. Literally, I think God just goes... and he sneezes, and all of a sudden the Midwest is covered with rain.
And Mac, whenever you guess the weather, you're always 50% right. You got a 50% chance to be right.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm okay with that. All right. I want to talk about a tragedy that happened in a community that's within our listening area. You've probably heard about it. An early morning house fire killed a mother and her 3 children in Boone County Sunday. Emergency crews responded to the home located in the 300 block of Beach Street in Boxholm. You know where Boxholm is? At about 1 a.m. Sunday. When firefighters arrived, the back half of the house was fully engulfed in flames. Investigators say the fire likely started due to a space heater. Boxholm Fire Chief Dave Huffman says 4 family members were killed, the mother and 3 children. They were found huddled together in a room that was consumed by the fire. We changed crews. We went back into the room. We broke down the door. We got in. We had everybody looking, and they went to the bedrooms first, thinking that that's where they'd be. But they were apparently what they were doing was they were sleeping in the front porch where the space heater was on. John, the husband, the father of the family, is a jailer, so he was working the all-night shift at the Boone County Sheriff's Office, and he's also a part-time firefighter.
Oh, my goodness.
It's the most devastating thing to ever think of, says Rick Kyle, a resident of Boxholm. You go to work, and you come home, and you've lost everything, and I mean everything. And it was so bitterly cold Saturday night and Sunday morning. We were down into the single digits below zero, probably even colder than that. 9 fire departments came. They froze up 6 trucks, froze up 2 fire hydrants. They drained a water tower because they couldn't get the fire out. Now, if you'd like to help, there is a GoFundMe page that's been set up, and the last name is Sorenson, Sorenson. They're trying to help raise money, but at this, what do you do? What do you do? I mean, you pray for them, obviously, and if you've got $20, you go to the GoFundMe page. But I'm just trying to think. I come home, and my wife and 3 kids are gone, and my house, my whole life, has been wiped off the map. Phew.
That's bad.
That really is bad. I can't imagine I hope he is a follower. I hope he's got Jesus in his life. Because if you don't have Jesus in your life, you're going to be madder than everything. And I used the term, I didn't say hell on purpose. I said madder than everything that God did this to you. That a power greater than yourself that you choose to call God, and you blame him for all the bad things that happen in your life, and you never give him credit for the good things, because those are just coincidences. Boy, I hope he's a follower. Mr. Sorensen, if for some reason you turned on the radio right now, it's no accident. My audience is going to pause and pray for you right here. We're all going to pause for just a second, and we're going to say your name out loud, and we're going to pray that God just surrounds your arms with comfort and peace and reminds you that Jesus loves you and that he loves you and he had nothing to do with this. Your wife and children are in God's hands now, and they could not be happier. And I'm sorry that you have to be so sad, and I don't blame you. And if you want to come yell at somebody, you're welcome to come yell at me anytime you want, because I can't imagine your pain. But God can take that pain. He can hold it. He can comfort you. He can give you the peace that probably only he can give you. All right? Jesus, just wrap your arms around this man, and it's in your name we pray. Amen. All right, community calendar when we come back later on. So if you were a multi-billionaire,
Yeah.
what do you think your hobby would be?
Oh, I know.
What?
In fact, I've thought about it.
Okay.
I would continue the hobby that I currently have, and I would just improve it.
Playing games.
Yeah.
Well, two of the world's richest men have built, they've built rockets. And they're in competition with each other. We'll talk about that next, and also what a pizza restaurant in North Carolina is doing for gender bias.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
Rockton Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens. Rock on. This is Pat McManus for Rockton Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
All right, welcome back. We are live here on The Truth, 99.3. J. Michael McCoy's my name. Thanks for listening. Love this job. Couldn't do it without you. Bob Montserrat, the cat in the hat. Whew, what a legacy that man has. He's watching the chat, and he's also watching the Service Legends Truth text line at 809-0993. 809-0993. Anytime you want to text something, there's no charge. It's free. We don't do stuff like that around here. 809-0993. Put that in your phone. Write it down wherever you are. And anytime you want to make an opinion, share an opinion, you can do it that way.
And
also,
I respond too.
Yeah, Bob responds. Wherever you write that down, write down our studio line at 515-244-0077. And that's the number you can get on the air. And our producer today is Frank. You know, it's so hard to use the same term for Frank that I used for somebody like Ryan or Maddie. It just, Frank ought to be like junior producer, maybe,
But did you notice as soon as you mentioned call number, you got it almost immediately as a lower third?
Yeah, thank you. Oh, I did.
You go.
Yeah, on the webcast1live.com.
He's up on it.
Yeah, see, producing this show is not easy, to be honest with you, because while he's producing a radio program, he's also producing a television show. Because if you go to webcast1live.com, you will see us live. And it's nothing fancy. It's passionate radio with pictures. Nobody does anything different because we're on TV, except we don't wear green. So you're welcome to, at any time, reach out to us in any way, shape, or form. We just have the Roadhouse rule. Please be nice. All right, so the community calendar. Do we have the music for the community calendar, Frank?
Yes, I will have that, shortly. Right now.
Yes.
I will.
All right, roll the music for the community calendar.
Wow, we got a new one. I like it. All right, so here are a couple of events to let you know about. Hey, by the way, I do want to hear from you. If you went to the Inspire 2016 Health Fair and Conference, why don't you send us a text and say, give us your thoughts on it. 809-0993. I'd love to hear from you about that. Anyway, that's over now. Coming up this Friday is Winter Jam, January 22nd. That's this Friday at Wells Fargo Arena. 10 bands, $10. Details at 2016.jamtour.com. You can buy tickets at the door. I would get there early. It's a lot of people that line up for that. Sunday, January 24th is Adoption Support Group going to be held at Walnut Creek Community Church. That's put on by Beauty Amidst the Ashes. Details at beautyamidsttheashes.com. This Saturday, I'm excited to let you know, we've been talking about this a lot. One of our broadcasters here, Steve Dace, is releasing his fourth book. This is his first work of fiction. It's called A Nefarious Plot. He is having a pre-release party, which means this is an opportunity to buy it before you can buy it. That is this Saturday from, I believe, 1 to 3 o'clock at Harvest Bible Chapel in Grimes, formerly the Gortz House. And I just got word this morning that Raphael Cruz, Ted Cruz's father, will be at that event this Saturday. I also want to let you know that the Believer in Civic Involvement Conference, featuring keynote speaker Dr. Russell Moore. He's the president of the Ethics and Religious Liberty Commission. This is a general session to open to to open to everyone. Tuesday, January 26th from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. at First Family Church in Ankeny. And we'll end with this. What did you expect? The Marriage Conference coming up January 29th and 30th at Grace Church in Des Moines. Details are at gracehome.com. That event will feature Paul Tripp live and in person here in Des Moines. That's your community calendar, sponsored by myprepperdirect.com. Right now, they are offering 10% off anyone who purchases any of their water filtration products at myprepperdirect.com. 10% off when you enter promo code TRUTH when you check out.
All right. 515-244-0077. I want to read you an email I got from Mark. To give you a little background, Mark spent time in Vietnam prison camp. It wasn't the Hanoi Hilton, but he did spend several years there. He sent me an email that said, "Go see 13 Hours. You will be touched and angered when you leave the theater. Caught it last night. Great movie. True heroes in every sense of the word. We have a lot of heroes in this country, thank God. Unfortunately, we have way, way too many scumbags like Obama and Hillary that are so concerned with their political speak, we have terrorism under control, that they wouldn't send help. To top it off, they were both on national TV selling America a lie that these were Muslims upset with a movie while watching the whole scene from a state-of-the-art unmanned drone documenting everything just a few thousand feet away. That's right, armed drone that could have saved the ambassador and everyone's life. We had F-16s armed to the teeth on runways 20 minutes away. No go. Too much political risk for Obama and Hillary. Obama and Hillary were perfectly willing to let 30-plus Americans die to save their political rhetoric. That's exactly what would have happened if those 6 American soldiers would not have defied those senseless direct orders to stand down. Outgunned at least 100 to 1, they prevailed at the cost of several of their brothers. Every American should be upset that they were blatantly lied to for political gain by Obama and Hillary at the cost of those that died at Benghazi. Wow. So, anybody seen it yet? I haven't.
Yes, I have.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, my daughter...
oh, that's right. Friday. Or Thursday.
Well, we did it on Sunday. I mean, this is the first time in my life I think I saw 2 movies within a week.
Yeah, okay, so.
I'm not a movie guy, but she dragged me out with her, which is fine. I did. And I thought it was intense. And I recommend people going to see that because it shows what.
Do you think it's what really happened?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I saw the 3 people that were part of this movie, the real guys, if you want to call it, the real contractors that were on Fox, and they explained a lot of the things that happened, and they were part of the advisors to the movie.
Okay.
So you know that they were going to say what happened.
Well, and I understand it was based on a book. It was based on their account
right.
of what had happened. Yeah, just incredible. And,
right.
I'd heard about the movie 13 Hours, and I was afraid. I didn't realize it was this of such quality, that it's a... that it's really a blockbuster.
Hollywood, yeah.
It's a Hollywood blockbuster.
It's not a documentary.
Quality. For some reason, I thought that it was just kind of a documentary style film. No, this is
no.
A story, right?
This is intense.
Oh, it's intense. It's intense, and you think the thing I was thinking is, why would somebody, these men had families, little kids, and why would they put themselves at that risk? I mean, it was just terrible. I mean, when you think about the risk that they put themselves and going in there to try to make a difference, it was something else.
Well, the thing I know this is the wrong audience to ask this to, because our audience, you good listeners, most of you are conservative. I would tell you that probably 8 out of 10 are probably conservative, and the 20% that aren't, you're in the middle. We have no lefties. If you are a lefty out there, you're a low information voter, please call. Gosh, I just insulted them and then asked them to call. That's wrong of me. I'm sorry. That was wrong of me. Because here's my question. How can you vote for Hillary? I don't get it. I don't get it. Forget that she let this happen, but then she lied to us about it.
Yeah.
Did I tell you the story about my grandson the other day? My grandson was screwing around with something. Long story short, my grandson was screwing around with something and started the fire alarms went off in our house. And I went running downstairs, and he was standing there, and I said, "What happened?" And he said, "I don't know." So I'm frantically looking what to do with I've got 14 people in the house, grandkids aged 8 months to 17. Do we grab the jewelry box? Do we grab the papers in the safe? Do we grab my wife's mother's pictures? What do we grab? I figured out what happened. We got the alarms shut off, and I sat my grandson down, and I said, "I don't care that you goofed around in the sauna and set off the fire alarm. What I care about is I came running down and asked you what was wrong, and you said, I don't know." And that's what Hillary's doing.
And by the way,
I just can't believe that woman might be president.
They did not mention any names. They didn't refer to the Secretary of State or the President or any of that. But they kept trying to get they were trying to get help. And basically, there was no help sent.
Somebody needs to point out in the debates.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Who was trying to get help?
The people in Benghazi.
Oh, so did they show someone who was quote unquote Secretary of State and quote unquote?
No.
Okay.
Nope. There was no referral to.
All right, well, that's nice, I guess.
Yeah, I read an article that there was never names mentioned or anything like that. It wasn't intended to necessarily be a political film, but I found interesting in an article that I did read that just like we are seeing a rise in quality Christian films, we're seeing a rise in quality pro-military films, and it's for essentially the same reason. Not necessarily that that's the same audience, but basically Hollywood is realizing that there are people that want to see Christian movies, good quality Christian movies. They want to see them, and they also want to see movies that are pro-United States military, because there have been a lot of movies that have been less than pro-United States military made, and those just don't sell. The tickets don't sell as much. American Sniper was huge. It did huge, and in 13 hours, I think is going to be absolutely huge. This weekend, I saw a trailer for it for the first time, and like I said, I thought it was going to be a documentary. But I was blown away that Jim, quote, Jim from The Office, for those who watched that television show, was in it. And, I mean, this was a blockbuster film. It looked incredible. Very intense. And I haven't seen it, and I put on Facebook that I will be seeing it.
Yeah. And matter of fact, there were a lot of things. I thought I knew everything about what happened. But when I watched the movie, there were things that I learned that I had no idea.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it.
Well, somebody needs to mention in the debate against Hillary that she got the 3 a.m. phone call that she so desired to have back in 2008, and she rolled over and hit the snooze button. And as a result, 4 brave Americans are dead.
See, and that's one of the reasons why I am intrigued with Trump. Because Trump's the only one that'll call her cow manure on Benghazi. I don't think anybody else will. I really don't. I don't think Ted Cruz will. I don't think Marco Rubio will. They're too politically connected. For some reason, when you get into office, you remove part of your brain. I'm
going to challenge you a little bit on that, and here's why I don't know. I would have thought that. Given before this last Republican debate, I think I would have agreed with you 100%. But Trump did something in this last Republican debate that I was surprised at. When Cruz and Trump were going back and forth over his eligibility, over his citizenship, over Cruz's citizenship,
which is silly.
Trump, although held his ground, was very diplomatic back to Cruz. He was very, look, I'm not trying to pick a fight with you here. I'm just saying these are good lawyers. They know what's up. But he wasn't aggressive to Cruz. He makes these statements and he lets them have their effect, but he's not real confrontational. And I was surprised when you look back at it through that lens, he really wasn't anywhere near as confrontational as Cruz was. Cruz was a lot more aggressive, a lot more hard-hitting with his language, his gestures, his attitude. Everything was a lot more bold, whereas Trump, although he made the accusation, was, hey, I want to still be friends with you. And he admitted, he only did it because he didn't think Cruz had a chance of winning before, and now he thinks Cruz has a chance of winning, so he better throw this out there. He admitted even that he's playing the political game.
Yeah.
So I'm afraid.
Why did you do this now? Because I'm losing, or because he's going up.
Right. And I'm afraid that he's not going to be able to hang tight with Hillary anymore. That attitude isn't a killer instinct.
All right. I want to come back and tell you what big boys with lots of money, what their toys are. And later on, a gas station made by hanging a sign. Will you agree? I don't know. We'll talk about it here live on The Truth.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast 1 Live.
I'm Brian Leach, owner of Service Legends, and my position is Chief Talent Officer.
I'm Nicholas Wonderscheid.
I am Bernie Hobbs.
And I'm the Service Manager.
Marketing Director and Client Relations Manager.
Everything that we do is about ensuring that we exceed your expectations.
Our clients are important to us. 100% satisfaction.
We're not just focused on heating and cooling. That's the easiest part of our job, actually, is fixing furnaces and air conditioners.
Everyone that we come in touch with, we want to improve lives.
Bottom line is, we've got our installation guarantees, 25% energy savings guarantee, comfort guarantee, temperature selection guarantee, property protection guarantee.
100% satisfaction guaranteed, Fixed rate or it's free.
All of those guarantees are backed up with a 100% money back guarantee to hold ourselves accountable to making sure that you get what you're after.
Just fixing the problem today. If they have another problem 5 days down the road, it's still fixed rate or it's free.
We use what's called straightforward pricing. Our technicians are going to give you an exact to-the-penny price on what it's going to take before they move forward with any repair. That way you know what to expect.
It's the same price every day.
No surprises.
If you get off work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you come home, you realize that, oh, my furnace is broken. Now you need to call somebody out that night. You shouldn't have to pay more for that.
We're guaranteeing service 24/7.
We run afternoons, evenings, nights, weekends. We're staffed to work that.
Phone rings at 3 in the morning. You'll get one of our representatives answering the phone every time.
We're not sending you out to Timbuktu in some call center. It's our Service Legend team members, our mission control team.
I'll take a call anytime.
And then they answer the phones the same way during the day as they do at night.
It's a great day at your service company. How can we make you smile?
That's the only way to provide true 24-hour service.
When you're able to let somebody actually live in their home safely when they weren't able to do that before, where they don't have to stay up at night and worry about, is the heat going to come back on? Are we going to freeze the pipes? Is the baby in the room next door going to be sick because they got too cold? When you're able to help somebody overcome challenges like that, that's impacting a life. That makes a difference. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
I love the team. I love the people that I work with.
We have fun, but we work hard.
I call them my ambassadors of legendary service. If you could just envision what that is, that's who we're sending to your home.
They literally will call in, pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I want to talk to your manager. And I get on the phone, they're like, that technician that was at my house was the greatest technician ever. That's cool to me.
We want to brighten people's days.
Every person that we have going into the house has gone through an extensive background check.
Drug testing, we have a very thorough interview process that 1 out of 140 people make it through.
If we promise you something, that's what you're going to get, no matter what.
We're here when you need us to protect the safety and comfort of your family.
If you're not happy, we're going to make it right.
If we're willing to put 100% money back guarantee on what we do, what type of work do you think we do?
Give us a call. We're there for you 24/7, 365 days a year.
Enough said.
.338, 22 minutes before the top of the hour. 18th day of January in the Lord's year 2016. Next hour, I'm going to introduce you to Hope. No, not the church. The lady. The young lady who went through some of life's hurts, habits, and hang-ups and came out at the other end. That'll be this afternoon, 4 o'clock, here in Mac's World and Restoring Hope Live. All right, so sunshine is going to continue today. Cloudy as we get through the night. We hit a high of 13 today. That's probably the highest we're going to get. It's already down to 12. Tuesday, 19 with snow. Wednesday, almost unfreezing. Unfreezing. 30 degrees and clear. And then by the time we get to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're back down into the teens. It's 12 degrees now in Des Moines. All right, so when you're the guy that started Amazon, and one guy started it, wow, and you sell it for you have a net worth of $46.7 billion. And you're the guy who sells, who created and then sold, and then created and sold something called Tesla, which is an electric car company. And, I don't know, there's simple things that's on the end of everybody's mouth. PayPal. And you're worth a mere $13 billion. What do you do with your money to just have fun? I mean, you got more money. You'll never, that's it. You don't ever have to worry about money unless you're just, I think you could be stupid with it and still end up with all your money. I mean, if you just put it in the bank, I'd like to know what the interest would be on $13 billion for 1 week. I bet you could live off that. Somebody who's a financial planner or a money guy, figure that out. If you had $13 billion and you're making, 6% on your money, that's probably too much. So you know what these guys did? They started space rocket companies. One guy has SpaceX. The other guy has, it's called Bezos Experiences. No, not, we'll call it Bezos Experience because it's Jeff Bezos who owned Amazon, and Elon Musk who owned Tesla and PayPal. So these two billionaires, they're friendly together. They're on Twitter. they're having this kind of mini space race to try to figure out, and the big deal is to get a rocket that takes off, goes to the space station, drops people off or supplies or whatever, and then when it comes back down, it lands on its legs. So you just light the candle again and it goes back up. Okay? That would save, hold on, let me tell you how much that'd save. $60 to $90 million. So the ability to reuse them would significantly reduce the cost of space travel. Well, last week, SpaceX, which is the guy who started Tesla and PayPal, attempted to land a rocket upright on a platform in the Pacific Ocean. They call them a drone ship. That's the pad that they land on, and they do it in the water, and then they can land on the water. Well, this rocket goes to the space station, delivers what it's supposed to deliver, comes back down. Massive failure. And you can see it on YouTube, and it's an incredible video. So the two guys, Musk and Bezos, they're like texting each other back and forth and complimenting each other. And in this bad thing that happened, the other guy said, hey, I really saw that happen, and let me know if I can help. Anyway, I just think it's interesting that when you got that much money, because what would you have done? Well, of course, nobody would have had $46 billion 100 years ago. I mean, I suppose maybe Kennedy's. Oh, they probably. I don't know. Some of the big. Well, you'd have the railroad barons, and you'd have the steel barons.
That's who I was thinking of.
And oil, probably.
Yeah,
they would be the ones that had all that kind of money. But anyway,
I did see that video of the ship landing, and it actually landed.
Yeah, it did land.
Good. It's just one of the legs gave way, and the thing just.
Well, was it that, or I have to watch it again? It kind of looked like maybe the drone ship was rocking a little bit because it was on the water.
It is on the water.
So why wouldn't you land on? Why wouldn't they?
They didn't have enough fuel to make it back to land.
Oh!
They didn't have enough fuel on board.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. So, a couple more things. Are you okay if I kind of chew on the cities for a little bit?
Depends on which cities.
Yeah, it depends on what cities. I like Urbandale. That's where I live.
I'm going to chew on several of them. You know what Walnut Creek is?
Sure.
Right? Walnut Creek is one of the leading causes of damage to our suburbs because of flooding.
Okay.
And I didn't know this, but when you develop a site upstream on Walnut Creek or any creek, downstream, if that development hasn't continued, then the water floods downstream because they've made it so it won't flood upstream.
Sure. Right. Gotcha.
All right. So the Walnut Creek Watershed Management Authority has been proposed by Dallas and Polk County. And this is a proposal they give to the cities. They have released a comprehensive plan in progress to address environmental concerns, improve water quality. Who cares about all that stuff? It's to reduce flooding in the 82 square mile watershed. It includes portions of Clive, Dallas Center, Des Moines, Grimes, Johnston, Urbandale, Waukee, West Des Moines, and Windsor Heights. The 200-page document outlines recommendations for the cities, which would include restricting new development within a 100-year floodplain, enforcing environmental practices to prevent runoff from construction sites, implementing local rules to protect and restore topsoil in all spaces. A list of projects that addressed erosion and other areas of concern is being formed, said Greg Pierce, water resource engineer at RDG Planning and Design. All right, sounds good, right? I mean, we humans, if we're going to start moving into the water areas where God has said, here, this is going to flood. I'm sorry, the way I've got this whole thing working, I know you're not smart enough to figure it all out, humans, but what you do up in South Dakota on the Missouri River impacts Nebraska, Kansas, Iowa, downriver, and God knew that. So a man goes in and says, I want to claim this land and I want to put a business on it. Well, what do we do when it floods? So they come up with this wonderful plan. And I live in Clive. I've got a business on Walnut Creek. I I mean, I watch it when it comes up, and we've never been flooded there, but that's because we took precautions when building the building. It was in a floodplain. They said the only way you can build something here is if you bring the land up 22 inches, and we brought in I don't know how many tons and tons of stone to raise that 20 acres up. So you get all these people working together, and here's what makes me mad. Last line of the story. Above cities mentioned are not required to implement any of these plans' recommendations. So we pay somebody a whole bunch of money to tell us how to fix a problem, and then we aren't requiring all the cities to fix it. Because if Clive fixes it up here, down here, Windsor Heights is getting socked.
Right.
A buddy of mine, Sam Atchison Auto Works there on the south side of like 8,000 University. He went through horrible flooding this year. Well, you know why he had that? Because right across the street, right across on 86th Street, where my building is, we've done all the proper work to make sure that water doesn't come up that high. So where does the water go? It gets shoved down into Windsor Heights.
Yeah.
If Windsor Heights doesn't do anything about it, then Windsor Heights is going to continue to flood. If Windsor Heights does something about it, now it'll be Des Moines that'll have to do something. So the cities are not required to implement any of these plans' recommendations. I want you to know that. And your city council person is going to blow you off and say it's not their deal, but it is their deal. Cities should be required to do what these companies say they should do to prevent loss of life, loss of property, and just the inconvenience of a flood. But anyway, that's just Mac, the community guy who's been around long enough to understand, where the bodies are buried. All right, so you okay with genderless bathrooms? You okay to just be able to walk into any bathroom at any time? And
I like what they call family bathrooms. Yeah, they're convenient.
Okay. Well, a pizza restaurant has decided that their bathroom policy is such a big hit, they're going to put it on company-wide. We'll talk about it next.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
Rockton Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens. Rock on. This is Pat McManus for Rockton Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast 1 Live.
10 minutes before the top of the hour, Salem Radio Network News. And then when we come back, I'm going to introduce you to a wonderful woman. Her name is Hope. And it's going to be one of our Restoring Hope Live shows where somebody comes in and tells us what their life was like, what happened, and what their life is like now. We don't do them every week now. But Hope, I don't know if she's a member of Hope. I think she is. She's a member of where I go to church. And she's also in Celebrate Recovery, which is a Christ-centered recovery program that churches all across the country are starting to pick up. And who did that come from? Do you remember the guy, the famous preacher that started that? See, I'm going to open my mouth now here.
Yeah, see, I'm going to get in trouble. I don't know. I want to say I don't know. I'm going to go with I don't know.
Okay.
Because I could very well be wrong.
Can you
Started what?
When you Google Celebrate Recovery and find out where it came from, I think it's the church in Chicago. Starts with a W. I'm so bad here. People are yelling at the radio right now the answer. And, of course,
call in at 515-244-0077, 515-244-0077 if you know the answer to that, because we just like to know. And you'd sound really smart if you called in and told us.
Or you could also just text it to the Service Legends Truth text line at 809-0993. All right, so a chain of pizza restaurant is being praised not just for its slices, but because of its bathroom policy. It may seem like a simple gesture to most, but it was designed to take a positive stance on discrimination. This family who owns this chain of restaurants was tagged in an image showing the sign which was posted at one of their pizza restaurants. The sign notes that the pizza restaurant has unisex bathrooms because sometimes gender-specific toilets put others into uncomfortable situations. These situations range from single fathers with daughters and single mothers with sons, parents with disabled children, members of the LGBT community, and adults with aging parents who may be mentally or physically disabled. The restaurant chain said last month a woman who came into the restaurant with her disabled son was brought to tears by the sign. And let me tell you what the sign reads. It says, "We have unisex bathrooms because sometimes gender-specific toilets put others into uncomfortable situations. And since we have a lot of our friends coming to see us, we're going to have," and then it goes through, provide places for single dads with daughters, single moms with sons, parents with disabled children, and those in the LGBT community. Adults with aging parents who may be physically or mentally disabled. Thank you for helping us provide a safe environment.
This is a restaurant chain?
Yeah. So, what do you think of that?
Well, here's one thing that I want to point out about that, and that is that if you're the parent of a disabled child, and that disabled child is an opposite gender of you, so a dad with a disabled daughter as an example, and you have experienced the struggle of going to the challenge of going to a bathroom. Now, especially think about this if you were a mother and you have a disabled son. Taking your son into a men's bathroom, having to do that, or taking him into a woman's bathroom, things like that. That provides some challenges, some difficulties, some embarrassment, some discomfortable situation. And to see a sign on a bathroom that addresses you and your specific situation would be emotional. I think it would say someone recognizes that I have a challenge, and any time that we recognize the struggle and the challenge of someone else and say, I understand your challenge, I think that's a very powerful and kind thing to do, and it makes someone feel understood, heard, loved, and respected. So I think that's something that I would initially point out. The other thing that I would say is that it's all about the size of these bathrooms. That's my opinion. If you've got like, I think of like movie theater bathrooms. I'm a guy, so you go to a movie theater bathroom and there's 10 urinals and there's a ton of guys in there standing in line. That's not a gender neutral place. That's a place for a bunch of dudes. But if you go to a smaller restaurant, or like a lot of these pizza restaurants, the bathroom's only going to accommodate 2 or 3 people anyway. And if those are just stalls, in a lot of ways, it really doesn't matter. You go into a stall, you do your business, you come out, and all that kind of stuff for adults. I think the challenge that this faces and where people get nervous is, at what age do you send your young son or daughter into the bathroom by themselves? Mm-hmm. That's when it becomes a bit of a challenge, especially for single mothers or single dads in these kinds of situations. I think it's an issue that has been overhyped by a lot of people. I know that I've probably gotten really overexcited about it. But I do, as I said before we went to the break, there are a lot of things, like even here at the mall, you've got family restrooms. Have you seen these? So it says it's a family restroom, and it's really just a single person bathroom that a family can go in. So you can have a mother and her son go into that bathroom, and it's accepted. I think things like that are fine. Anyway, those are just some thoughts I have on the bathroom discussion.
What about cameras in the bathroom? Because now you're going to have more people upset by things that go on in the bathroom, because there are going to be bad people who take advantage of this situation. So now do we need security cameras in the bathrooms? So if some man decides he's going to flash himself at little girls when they come in? I mean,
well, look, let's
what do we do here?
Let's be clear here. This bathroom thing is kind of a silly conversation. I was in Jethro's. In fact, I was with you, Mac. I was in a Jethro's, and I walked into the woman's bathroom, used the woman's bathroom, and walked back out to realize the door across from me was the men's door as I was leaving the bathroom. A man can go into a woman's bathroom intentionally or unintentionally. You know, there's not like some force field that scans your gender before
when there's no urinals, didn't you think?
Well, that's my point. Small bathrooms, it doesn't really matter because every small bathroom is going to have a stall in it. Now, I did think to myself, gee, there's just 2 stalls. That's odd, but whatever. It's convenient.
Yeah. Now, let me tell you, the answer to this, and I'm going to mention Hy-Vee food stores because the one by me redid their bathrooms, and they have individual bathrooms. Each room has just 1 toilet and 1 urinal. And they have them marked women or men, but anybody can go into any of them. And it won't bother anybody. You see what I'm saying? You don't have the mask.
Yeah, see, I think that there's simple solutions to this. I think we've just been accustomed to these mass bathroom situations where, that can be difficult and awkward. But anyway.
I don't know. I don't know.
I got the answer to your Celebrate Recovery.
Yes.
It's actually John Baker is the founder of Celebrate Recovery, a ministry born out of the heart of Saddleback Church.
Saddleback.
Yeah.
23 years, evidently.
Yeah. I met John Baker. He's a good guy.
Saddleback is California. That's
Rick Warren.
Rick Warren's church.
Yeah. Purpose-driven life. Okay, we're going to take our break. We've got the news coming up in just a minute, and then Hope. That's her name. She's going to come in and share her story of recovery. We used to do this every Monday afternoon with the new format and everything we're doing here. We don't do it quite as often, but when I find somebody that's as talented and gifted and has such a great story like Hope does, it's a story that I think you should hear about. Your comments are always welcome. You can email us. You can go to my Facebook page. My phone number is public. Anytime you've got an opinion. And by the way, I like it when you tell me you like the radio station and you like the shows. I need to hear when you don't. Because radio's that thing you just turn off the button and I don't know you're gone. And maybe I could have done something to, I don't know. If I can help, let me know. See you next hour here live on The Truth.